My worst fear.
My fear is actually the dark.
So heights, I would say.
Fire. On my entire body.
Being alone.
My worst fear will have to be spiders.
Getting a shot or just having a needle in my skin.
Hell.
Dying alone.
This one recently developed earlier this week. The amount of bees and seeing them all like clumped together.
Webster's definition of phobia is an irrational fear. So there's a part of anthropology that studies how we are humans as animals, primates, mammals specifically, and how we came to be Homo sapiens. And we grew up in both the savanna, the grasslands of Africa, and in the jungles. And that means that we were exposed as animals to things like snakes, spiders, and poisonous entities, heights at many points of our existence for many, many years. And even things like honeycombs where there are bees, or octopuses or underwater creatures that have holes. Some people are afraid of holy things. And this is just ingrained in our DNA, quite literally.
Most of it, I believe, is from research and like seeing these 8-legged freaks. Of course, I don't want to just kill everything that walks.
Just that feeling of being helpless up on top of a building or anything, and being stuck and looking down and seeing how far down you could fall.
I mean, I realize that happens often in life, like you're just in a room alone or like at your house alone. But even that always causes me like anxiety right away. Like the minute the door closes and I know like everyone else is gone, I get really, really anxious and I'm like, don't think about it. Don't think about being alone. They're going to be back. You're going to be fine.
Not a particular fear in the sense that fire doesn't make me nervous. See, I can be around a campfire or like even an uncontrolled fire I can be around and feel comfortable. But the thought, it's really the pain that's the fear. It's not the fire itself.
I've always had this fear of the dark, the like little girl, you're afraid to go into the dark. Always at night, you don't want to go to sleep, you're afraid that like something will get you, that kind of fear. And even when it was dark or like when it was nighttime, I would always have a night light. And when we didn't have a night light or when the power went out, I would just have the covers over my head. For some reason that protected me, I don't know. But the fear is still there.
When the Industrial Revolution happened and we were exposed to toxins in the form of needles or electronics, like airplanes, these became phobias for other people. Sometimes people have both. Phobias, by their very nature, are irrational in as much as you don't get exposed to things like snakes on a daily basis, and yet we just physiologically bulk. So ultimately, phobias are on some level rational.
And we were going across a bridge, a wooden bridge in Louisiana. Driving a car across a swaying wooden bridge over this huge river it was not a good time. It's pretty intense. Being a child and seeing that, and your parents are freaking out as well, is just kind of like, it's otherworldly.
Just that moment of the pain and knowing, like, It's not maybe so much the pain as it is the terror and the horror of knowing that that's what's happening to you at that exact moment, and knowing also that you can't stop it.
If I was watching it alone in the dark of the room, I would be more scared. Yeah, I think it is the combination of the loneliness and dark, because then the fear is like, who else might be out there, and are they planning to hurt me kind of fear.
I feel like it added to my fear more than like helped me, just for the fact that like, you know, most spiders aren't really found commonly in like your urban areas and stuff like that. But with me doing a lot of research and stuff like that, it kind of made me more vigilant, positive note, but too vigilant.
The reason that fire became at the frontal lobes of my fear was because I saw a movie where a man was burned alive. So yeah.
Even if it's just a quick second, it just feels like it's in the movies, like it's always. It just feels like it takes forever, and then it just looks exactly how it looks in the movie, and it's not. But just being afraid of it makes it that much worse. It makes it feel like it's true.
Eight-legged freaks really mess with me a little bit, but honestly, out of all of them, I would have to say Harry Potter. And not just because they were huge, but he talked to me, which made it even worse. I'm like, no, I just didn't like that at all. Like, it sent chills down my spine a little bit.
The closest thing media has ever come to hell, in my imagination, is the Hellraiser movies.
But actually seeing how that would happen and seeing the terror in someone's eyes presented to me on screen made it even more of a, wow, I really am afraid of that.
When I watched the documentary on the man that crossed the Twin Towers, I couldn't. I had to pause it, take a deep breath, make sure that I wasn't there, confirm that I was still in my room.
All these movies, especially like in Disney movies now I think about it, like somebody's always dying in a terrible way. Like, like Ursula getting impaled by a boat and struck by lightning right afterwards. It's like, oh, you died unloved. Good luck with that.
Like, I need to go find someone and feel not alone, or call someone, or get on Facebook and like see that there's people out there. As strange as that sounds.
To be with people who are technologically savvy indicates wealth and status. That's evolution, right? That's humans as an animal. To have access to the wealthier mates will require having access to social networking at this time. The trend growing seems founded in all human nature versus being isolated and ostracized. And no human behavior should be dismissed. We're really neat animals.